Jeff Hayden. Influencer. Ghostwriter, Speaker, Incorporated. Magazine contributing editor. December 1, 2014. How successful people build exceptional professional relationships. Professional success is important to everyone, but still, success can and does, and definitely should, mean different things to different people. But one fact is universal. Real success, the kind that exists on multiple levels, is impossible without building great relationships. Real success is impossible unless you treat other people with kindness, regard, and respect. After all, you can be a rich jerk, but you will also be a lonely jerk. Here's how successful people build unusually successful business relationships. 1. They help without having to be asked. It's easy to help when you're asked. And most people will. But some offer help before they have been asked, even though most of the time that is when a little help will make the greatest impact. People who build great relationships pay close attention so they can tell when others are struggling. Then they offer to help, but not in a general, "Is there something I can do to help you?" way. Instead they come up with specific ways they can help. That way they can push past the reflexive, "No, I'm okay" objections and then roll up their sleeves to make a difference in another person's life. And they do it not because they want to build a better relationship, although that is certainly the result, but simply because they care. 2. They take the undeserved hit. A customer gets mad. A vendor complains about poor service. A mutual friend feels slighted. Whatever the issue and regardless of who is actually at fault, occasionally someone steps forward to take the hit. She's willing to accept the criticism or abuse because she knows she can handle it, and she knows that maybe, just maybe, the person who is really responsible cannot. Few acts are more selfless than taking the undeserved hit. And few acts better cement a relationship. 3. They answer the question that was not asked. Where relationships are concerned, face value is usually without value. Often people will ask a different question than the one they really want answered. A colleague might ask you whether he should teach a class at a local college. What he really wants to talk about is how to take his life in a different direction. A partner might ask how you felt about the idea he presented during the last board meeting. What he really wants to talk about is his diminished role in the running of the company. An employee might ask how you built a successful business. Instead of kissing up, he might be looking for some advice and encouragement to help him follow his own dreams. Behind many simple questions is often a larger question that goes unasked. People who build great relationships listen carefully to discover what lies underneath so they can answer that question. 2. 4. They truly think of others. People who build great relationships don't just think about other people. They act on those thoughts. One easy way is to give unexpected praise. Everyone loves unexpected praise. It's like getting flowers not because it's Valentine's Day, but just because. Praise helps others feel better about themselves and lets them know you're thinking about them, which, if you think about it, is flattering in itself. Take a little time every day to do something nice for someone you know, not because you're expected to but simply because you can. When you do, your relationships improve almost immeasurably. 5. They step up when they have acted poorly. Most people apologize when their actions or words are called into question. Very few people apologize before they are asked to, or even before anyone notices they should. Responsibility is a key building block of a great relationship. People who take the blame, who say they are sorry and explain why they are sorry, who don't try to push any of the blame back on the other person, those are people everyone wants in their lives, because they instantly turn a mistake into a bump in the road rather than a permanent roadblock. 6. They know when to dial it back. Outgoing and charismatic people are usually a lot of fun, until they aren't. When a major challenge pops up or a situation gets stressful, still, some people can't stop expressing their individuality. Admit it, You know at least one person so in love with his personality he can never dial it back. People who build great relationships know when to have fun and when to be serious, when to be over the top and when to be invisible, and when to take charge and when to follow. Great relationships are multifaceted and therefore require multifaceted people willing to adapt to the situation, and to the people in that situation. 7. They give consistently, and receive occasionally. A great relationship is mutually beneficial. In business terms that means connecting with people who can be mentors, who can share information, who can help create other connections. In short, that means going into a relationship wanting something. The person who builds great relationships doesn't think about what she wants, she starts by thinking about what she can give. She sees giving as the best way to establish a real relationship and a lasting connection. She approaches building relationships as if it's all about the other person and not about her, and in the process builds relationships with people who follow the same approach. In time they make real connections. And in time they make real friends. 8. They value the message by always valuing the messenger. When someone speaks from a position of power or authority or fame, it's tempting to place greater emphasis on their input, advice, and ideas. We listen to Tony Hsieh. We listen to Malcolm Gladwell. We listen to Seth Godin. The guy who mows our lawn? Maybe we don't listen to him so much. Although clearly we should. Smart people strip away the framing that comes with the source, whether positive or negative, and consider the information, advice, or idea based solely on its merits. People who build great relationships never automatically discount the message simply because they discount the messenger. They know good advice is good advice, regardless of where it comes from. And they know good people are good people, regardless of their perceived status. 9. They start small, and are sometimes happy to stay small. I sometimes wear a Reading Football Club sweatshirt. The checkout clerk at the grocery store noticed it one day and said, "Oh, you're a Reading supporter? My team is Manchester United." Since I'm pretty shy, I normally would have just nodded and said something innocuous, but for some reason I said, "You think Man U can beat Real Madrid next week?" He gave me a huge smile and said, "Oh yeah. We'll crush them." Too bad he was wrong. Now whenever I see him he waves, often from across the store. I almost always walk over and chat a little about soccer. That's as far as our relationship is likely to go, and that's okay. For a couple of minutes we transcend the customer/employee relationship and become two people brightening each other's day. And that's enough, because every relationship, however minor and possibly fleeting, has value. People who build great relationships treat every one of their relationships that way. That's a lesson I need to take to heart. Visual Media for Internet Nation.